The Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro's best asset is its portability. A small footprint and weighing in at only 1.4 kilograms, there's going to be less of an excuse of not having a laptop with you wherever you go. What's up guys, your boy Boss Mac back to gaming.com, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro. Now, as someone who runs a gaming website, there is that assumption that I would prefer a gaming laptop. True, there is that preference, especially with size and weight now going down. But I prefer to have a separate work and play laptop. Now that we're back covering events and expos, or to the same effect, if you're in sales or in college, you can definitely appreciate the benefit of a smaller device. The Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro is only 1.4 kilograms light, and at its thinnest side is only 14.6 millimeter. It's going to be really hard to communicate how tiny it is versus regular laptops, but these kinds of devices are now commonplace. And there is this really big push for 13-inch and 14-inch laptops since 2020. But with great size reduction comes great performance penalty, right? In the case of the Yoga Slim 7i Pro, that's not particularly true, especially with this 2022 model. In this review, we'll dive into details about performance on this laptop, see how it performs in daily office tasks, or even some demanding applications like video editing. And I'm happy to share that we have some gaming benchmark as well for the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro. So let's take a look at the design first. Lenovo's design language when it comes to laptops are definitely very Zen-like. Smooth lines and gentle curves. This is still true with the 2022 refresh of the Yoga Slim 7i Pro. There's no panel lines or markings on the case except for the Yoga and Lenovo branding, giving it a really clean and professional look. Available in either cloud gray or a darker storm gray, Lenovo really chose to go with neutral colors for this laptop, but there's something in their gray treatment that really screams this is a Lenovo product, especially when viewing them at a showroom with other brands. Now, you may say the design seems uninspired and bland, but that comes with the territory, and there will be people that will prefer a minimalist design. Opening up the lid, with OLED now becoming standard, Lenovo is also offering this option with other display configurations. Our review sample is the 2.8K resolution OLED version with a 90Hz refresh rate, but there is also an IPS panel option that comes in 2.8K 120Hz and 2.2K 60Hz. Focusing on OLED for a bit, Lenovo is upfront on the brightness rating and states that the unit can output 400 nits. Our LDAT confirms this to be true, and if you're buying this for entertainment primarily, the screen isn't as cinematic an experience as the rating would suggest. Regardless, it is a vibrant and colors definitely pop on screen, making it good enough for appreciating media. Moving over to the keyboard, those who know Lenovo would be familiar with their keyboard design. Easily one of the most comfortable laptop keyboard designs around, it's nice to see Lenovo manage to fit the standard size in the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro versus cramming it to make it smaller. Just below the keyboard is an extra wide touchpad. Well, it's pretty wide for the scale of our laptop. Anyway, it's pretty run-of-the-mill with good feedback, but I do have to point out that I feel the position could have been moved to the right more. While it rejects palm touch as well, it takes some getting used to, but you can disable the touchpad by a hotkey and just consciously ignore bumping it. Touching on I/O, there's really not a lot to discuss here, but I have to emphasize that these two Type-C ports are actually Thunderbolt 4 ports and rated up to 40 gigabits. And yes, you can connect an external GPU to them. This Type A port on the other side, meanwhile, is a USB 3.2 Gen 1 5 gigabit port. Expanding more on the Thunderbolt 4 Type-C ports on the Lenovo Yoga 7i Pro, you can use a USB-C to DisplayPort cable to output directly to an external monitor. You can also use a breakout hub like this one so you can connect multiple devices from a single port, including HDMI output. Before we tackle performance, we need to put this review in context, especially as most of the other products we've tested are only gaming laptops. That said, all of the benchmarks are standard and are comparable to any system, gaming or otherwise. Because if I didn't tell you that, you may be surprised what a laptop this thin is doing using an Intel Core i7-12700H. And it's a big paradigm shift for Intel with the release of their 12th Gen Core CPUs, especially mobile, where we are now able to see ultra-thin laptops like this one using Intel's more powerful mobile CPUs. And these are the same CPUs being used on gaming laptops, just with different cooling. So for this review, Lenovo sent us the Yoga Slim 7i Pro 2022 14IAH featuring an Intel Core i7-12700H CPU featuring 6 P cores and 8 E cores. This is complemented by 16GB of DDR5 4800 memory. For graphics, we have an RTX 2050 graphics adapter with 4GB of GDDR6 memory. We'll start off with battery life using PC Mark 10's Office Benchmark Suite, which loops video conferencing, word processing, spreadsheet, browsing, etc. over and over again until the battery drains. This is a 100% battery test, and it usually goes from 100% all the way down to power saving mode, which usually kicks in at 5% or less. And would you look at that, at 5 hours and 12 minutes, the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro tops our chart with a 5-hour working time in an office setting. So, unless you do a lot of the tasks I described earlier in a constant loop, one can assume the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro can definitely go one full workday with a single charge. Moving over to application performance in video editing using 4K footage by a Puget benchmark, it gives us 673 points, comparable to approximately 16% of how a 12-core desktop system with a high-end graphics card will perform. In actual use, you can easily edit 1080p or 4K footage in the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro, but adding in effects and motion graphics will really start eating into your resources once you start to build out your timeline. But generally, simple cuts will be very manageable. Moving over to Photoshop, our unit scores a respectable 957 points, which is pretty much 95% of how a desktop system will perform. Given that the specs of the system is clearly above Photoshop's minimum requirements, the fast CPU and RAM will really help in this application. GPU accelerated applications, particularly CAD and CAM software, specifically SolidWorks, score only 0.75 points. But take note that this is a very heavy test, and even a Legion 7i with a Core i9 and a mobile RTX 3080 Ti can only push 1.21 points on this benchmark. This goes the same for 3D modeling software like Maya, where again we see the limitation of the GPU. Where the GPU shines though is accelerating lighter GPU loads and of course gaming. The RTX 2050 is a modest GPU but it can certainly push frame rates. We've benchmarked a couple of games on the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro and starting things off with CSGO, we're already seeing good things with the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i, pushing 226 average FPS at 1080p. At the native 2880 by 1800 resolution, this drops to 96.3 FPS, which immediately tells us if you want to play games, 1080p is definitely the sweet spot for the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro. Continuing with the rest of our games, we have some esports games like Dota 2 at 84 FPS and Valorant at 179 FPS. AAA titles are a different story though, with Shadow of the Tomb Raider running at a sturdy 31.8 FPS, with Forza Horizon 5 at a more acceptable 65 FPS, and back to a sturdy 25 frames per second for Cyberpunk 2077. That said, casual and lighter games will definitely be playable, and other games, especially those with DLSS, would really be decent on 1080p on this laptop. Before we wrap, there is an extended version of this review in my website. You can check that out after this video for more details on more application benchmarks. The link is down in the description. The Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro's best asset is its portability. A small footprint and weighing in at only 1.4 kilograms, there's going to be less of an excuse of not having a laptop with you wherever you go. But the other important take here is the performance and battery life. Going a full workday is now possible provided you focus on one task. But even if you did, you can still multitask, and with the small charging brick of the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro, it's very portable enough to keep in a very small bag. But given its size, the screen size, it's not going to attract multimedia professionals. But those in college or just getting their start in multimedia, this laptop's great screen and excellent performance is a nice starting point, as you won't lose the thrill of learning or doing your creative work in the field or at a cafe because your laptop is heavy. Some room for improvements is the touchpad position, as I mentioned earlier, and perhaps a design update. Minor nitpicks, sure, but at the end of the day, most people decide with their eyes. And as cool a performer as the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro is, it certainly has a vanilla feel to the design. But perhaps this is what Lenovo is going for. Regardless, much like their Legion series, which started out featuring an office laptop design, they have since found their way into the hands of many users. And just like its siblings, the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro is a great performer with excellent build quality. Lenovo backs the Yoga Slim 7i Pro 2022 with 3-year Lenovo Premium Care warranty and comes with a 3-year accidental damage protection. Its price starts at 72,995 pesos for the Intel Core i5-12500H model, and this particular unit, the 12700H model that we are reviewing right now, is priced at 89,995 pesos. The Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Pro is available now from Lenovo concept stores and authorized dealers. You can also check out their online stores from your favorite online shopping site. This has been your boy Boss Mac, back to gaming.com. If you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.